Guess what? This is your spoiler warning for Andor Season 2. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, at first I thought Takoma was wanting to clap those cheeks when he was talking to Mon Mothma about his wife leaving. But nope, he wants money because of his failed investments. Okay then, that makes more sense. But it didn't stop Perrin from calling her out, or rather being jealous to a certain degree. Anyways, let's get to it. Andor Season 2 has kicked off with a bang. This isn't the Star Wars you or I are used to. Cheesy dialogue, awkward comedy, and so on. And I love all of Star Wars for that stuff. But Andor is different. There aren't many comical scenes in it, unless you want to consider Dedra Meero putting Cyril Karn's mother in her place. I did cheer her on for that. Yes, I cheered on a villain. Excuse me. Subscribe to my channel. Andor is full of rich characters with amazing stories, but that's not why we are here today. Today, we are here to discuss some of the nuances that make this political thriller such an important piece of Star Wars. Yes, we know what happens to most of the main characters. Spoiler alert, Cassian Andor dies on Scarif. But we also know what would happen to all of the characters of the prequel era when it was released. It didn't mean they were bad movies. They showed us how Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and the galaxy at large, to the point of A New Hope, became what it was. And that's what Andor is doing. Showing us how we get to A New Hope from another lens. The lens of the average person and those beginning the rebellion. But you know all that. So let's talk about deeper meanings of the scenes and characters within. It does make me a bit sad that we will probably not see B2 Emo from here on out. He has a new family. And Brasso? Damn, Brasso. But that stormtrooper should get an accommodation medal for actually hitting a target. It was no coincidence that they zoomed in on that stormtrooper and held focus on him for just a moment. Like a slap in the face to all of us. See, a stormtrooper can hit its target. They don't all suck. And that was intentional. The entire first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2 are full of meaningful moments that signify something larger. And no, I don't do Easter egg videos. Sorry, I'm not. There are 1,000 Star Wars channels that do that. I stopped doing that when I made the video about the Jawa holding General Grievous's arm in The Mandalorian Season 1. So I'm not going to talk about Plo Koon's mask being in Luthen Rael's shop. Just other people have already done it. But I digress. Stupid ADHD. Let's talk about the wedding of Mon Mothma's daughter. No matter how Mon Mothma tries to win her daughter's affection, it doesn't work. She sees her family falling apart, and she's powerless over it. Something most of us can relate to, especially if you have teenagers. I'm hiking up a 9-mile trail straight uphill for your ungrateful ass. You should have been carrying me. I got winded in the first 50 feet, spoiled brat. You should have chose the bear instead of a new husband. Okay, let's get serious. The dance following the wedding was an analogy for so many things. In the beginning, the dance was controlled, well choreographed, and beautiful. Mon Mothma watches her daughter dance arm in arm with the boy she wasn't bound to by love, but tradition, by necessity. A tradition Mon Mothma didn't agree with in the beginning anyway. A tradition that has culminated in her own fractured marriage. Now she watches as her daughter follows the same path. Controlled at first, with a real order to the dances everyone is participating in. What's supposed to be a celebration feels more like a death ritual. The death of ideals, of moral compass. And the music is the sound of Mon Mothma's internal rebellion falling apart. Rebelling against the old tradition of Chandrilan customs. There are no stormtroopers nor blasters to squash this rebellion, only her thoughts and emotions. Then there's the side of her that sacrificed her daughter for security, not only her own, but that of Leda as well. Marrying her into a crime family will ensure a certain amount of protection, if only just a little. Then it gets fun. With Mon Mothma doing shots and getting drunk as her daughter said she wished she had been doing in the beginning. she loosens up a bit. She starts off slow, then by the end, she is less refined. Her hair falls, and she seems more like uncontrolled chaos. Then those around her seem to be following suit. White girl dancing all over the place. The significance of this dance shows that she is ready to get down and dirty, that her family is crumbling, those who supported her and the rebellion are becoming less than controllable, such as Luthen Rael wanting to take out Take-Homa putting Mon Mothma in a shakedown situation where he's trying to extort money and possibly pleasures of another variety that he wants provided by her. He does glance down at her breasts when he's talking to her. Did you notice that? Then there's the loss of communication with rebel cells, i.e. Cassian Andor on an important mission to hijack the TIE Avenger. The rebellion is becoming chaotic, and the less than choreographed dancing is a sign of it. So, instead of sitting back and watching it all go to hell, Mon Mothma jumps into the fray, turning herself over to the chaos she sees before her while also hiding in plain sight. Another way we can see how this pertains to the whole of the rebellion is that when the music begins, it is limited to just the dancing scene. But as time passes, the music continues throughout the other scenes of Cassian Andor taking out stormtroopers and rescuing the surviving members of his inner circle, Bix Caleen and Wilman Pack. As I said in my review video, I never thought any music other than classical would work for any Star Wars project, but this has changed my mind. Yes, John Williams is the GOAT, and he did create some memorable non-classical scores for the other Star Wars films, such as the Cantina music in A New Hope and the bar music when Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker are searching for Zam Wesell, not wanting to buy any death sticks. But this score for the wedding reception was truly evoking emotion from me and is becoming one of my favorites in the entirety of the Star Wars soundtrack. And the way the rhythm and the beats hit so hard as the uncertainty of the rebellion and Mon Mothma's future plays out before us is incredible. I know a lot of people don't like Andor, and that's fine. Everything Star Wars is not for everyone. But Andor has become my favorite in the Star Wars universe right behind The Empire Strikes Back. But the dance scene and the entire arc of Chandrila has another hidden meaning. George Lucas used a lot of Eastern beliefs and aesthetics when developing Star Wars, with Jedi being of Asian descent or influence. All of Chandrila pays homage to that. The men's clothing looks like monk and samurai garb. The location holds a lot of ancient Japanese features as well. The arranged marriages that are held dear is another key. So I'd say, if anything, of the modern Star Wars era, this is Star Wars. And it really is in Andor. Then we have Mon Mothma's husband, Perrin Firtha, symbolizing the eye of the Empire, always watching. He notices her relationship with Take-Homa and is starting to see how Luthen Rael and Kleya are fitting into the puzzle. I still think there is more to Perrin than what we are immediately shown. I have a feeling he will give his life to save his wife at some point, possibly when she decides to go into exile after the Gorman massacre. Yes, that's coming. And that will lead Mon Mothma's arc into both Star Wars Rebels and Rogue One. I'm also not convinced that there isn't more to their relationship of Luthen Rael and Kleya Marki. Like we have been shown their roles in reverse of what the reality is. Luthen is good at recruiting, but Kleya is really the brain behind the operation. We see that in Andor Season 1 and Season 2 when she basically tells Vel Sartha, to shut up and know her role, tells Luthen to calm down during the Aldhani heist, and often takes situational control into her own hands. Then in Season 2 has the need to go back to the shop to monitor the comms for updates about Cassian Andor. The relationship between Luthen and Kleya, hear what I said there? Luthen and Kleya is being shown in reverse as smoke and mirrors. Maybe she's just unhinged and he's there to keep her under control or something, but her eyes tell something different. But what do you think of Andor Season 2 so far? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if I missed something that you'd like me to touch on with any of the comments I've made, let me know that too. But for now, I have to go put this fart spray I bought as a prank in a sealed bag. Seriously, it smells like rotten ass, even with the lid on. Ugh. I could smell it before I took it out of the plastic on the box. Ugh. How the hell do they make this stuff? I'm pretty sure there's a turd in this bottle. Subscribe to my channel. May the force be with you, unless you're a bad person. Bye.